Started with a phone call. Not mine, hers. I was half asleep, sprawled out on the couch after a long shift, half watching some late-night sports rerun when I heard it. Claire's voice, hushed, but intense. Emotional. I don't usually listen in on my wife's calls. 10 years of marriage teaches you to tune out casual chatter. But something about this one froze me in place. God, I miss you. Silence. My pulse thudded in my ears. Don't say that, she whispered, almost teasing. You know how much I love you. My stomach clenched. That tone. It wasn't how she talked to her mom, her friends, or even her annoying sister. It was different, private, intimate. I hate sneaking around, she sighed. But I can't lose him yet. You know that. My breath hitched. Lose who? Me? I sat up, every nerve in my body on edge. The pieces were slotting into place too fast. She kept talking, her voice thick with longing. I know, baby. I dream about you too. I forced myself to breathe, to think. Baby? Claire and I hadn't used pet names for each other in years. We were comfortable, like an old sweater, warm, familiar, but not exactly exciting. But this was something else. I felt like an intruder in my own damn house, eavesdropping on a version of my wife I didn't recognize. She sounded like a woman who had everything to lose. And yet, she was throwing it all away for who? The thought hit me like a freight train. Was she cheating? No, no way. Claire wouldn't do that. She was loyal, dependable. She hated liars. Couldn't even stand reality TV because it's all fake. Maybe I misheard. Maybe it was some dumb inside joke with a friend. Maybe. Then she said his name, and my world shattered. I wish I could be with you, Jake. Jake, my childhood best friend. The guy who was like a brother to me. The guy who was supposed to be my best man, until his last-minute work emergency had him bailing on our wedding. The guy who suddenly reappeared in our lives 6 months ago, all smiles and charm, as if he hadn't ghosted me for 5 damn years. I felt sick. My fists clenched as I stared at the dark ceiling, my heart pounding. This couldn't be happening. Claire giggled softly. We have to be careful. He'd kill us if he ever found out. Damn right I would. I swallowed the rage bubbling in my throat, forcing myself not to storm into the bedroom and confront her right then and there. Not yet. No, if my wife and my best friend were playing me for a fool, they were about to find out just how dangerous that game could be. I wasn't about to lose my shit like some blind, betrayed husband in a soap opera. No, I needed a plan, and I needed proof, because once I had it, there wouldn't be any coming back from this. I barely slept that night. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw her, Claire, whispering sweet nothings to him. Jake, my best friend. Or rather, the snake I used to call my best friend. By morning, I had a plan. I needed more than just a suspicious phone call. If I confronted her now, she'd just gaslight me, flip the script, make me feel like the crazy one. I'd seen it happen to other guys. Hell, I'd even laughed at stories online of clueless husbands being blindsided. Now, I was living one, so I played dumb. When Claire walked into the kitchen that morning, she looked normal, like a woman who hadn't spent the night whispering about how much she loved another man. Morning, babe, she said, kissing me on the cheek like always. I forced a smile. Morning, beautiful. She gave me a playful look. Wow, someone's in a good mood. Oh, if only you knew, sweetheart. I poured her coffee, extra cream, 2 sugars, just the way she liked it. She took a sip, sighing like it was the best thing she'd ever tasted. You're too good to me, you know that? I nearly choked. Too good to you?
Yeah, no shit.
Instead, I chuckled. Guess I just love spoiling my wife. She beamed at me, completely unaware that I had spent half the night debating whether to follow her to work or check her phone while she was in the shower. For the record, I chose her phone. When she went upstairs, I grabbed it off the counter. My hands were shaking as I unlocked it. Her passcode hadn't changed. Bless her cheating little heart. And there it was. A whole hidden folder of texts between her and Jake, disguised under a fake workgroup chat named Project Phoenix. Project Phoenix, my ass. I scrolled. Some messages were vague, too cautious. But others, they read like something out of a trashy romance novel. Last night was incredible. I can't stop thinking about you. I miss you already. When can we be alone again? And then one that made my blood turn to ice. Saturday. Same place. 8 p.m. I almost laughed. How convenient. Claire had told me just yesterday that she was meeting her old college friends for a girls' night on Saturday. And yet, here she was, planning her next rendezvous with my backstabbing best friend. Perfect. Now I had time. Time to set the stage. Time to catch them red-handed. And when Saturday rolled around, Claire and Jake were going to wish they had never been born. I spent the next few days playing the role of clueless, loving husband. I brought Claire flowers after work. I massaged her shoulders when she said she was stressed. I even suggested she take some time for herself this weekend. You know, since she was working so hard, she ate it up. Meanwhile, I was laying the trap. First, I needed to know exactly where this little cheating convention was happening. Claire's messages only said, same place. But I wasn't stupid. I had a good guess. Back in college, when Jake and I were still tight, we had this go-to spot. A secluded little motel on the outskirts of town. We used to crash there after wild nights out, back when money was tight and Uber wasn't a thing. If Claire and Jake were stupid enough to go there, it would be too easy. Just to be sure, I did a little snooping. On Friday morning, while Claire was in the shower, I checked her Google Maps history. And there it was, the Fairview Motel. I almost laughed. Jesus, they really weren't even trying. Now, I just needed proof. I wasn't about to be one of those guys who confronted his cheating wife with just a gut feeling. Oh no, I was going to have undeniable, inescapable, soul-crushing proof. Which is why, Friday afternoon, I made a little purchase. A hidden camera. Small enough to fit in the motel room unnoticed. A voice recorder because I wanted to hear every last word of their betrayal. And, just for good measure, a bottle of cheap champagne. Why? Because if my wife was going to screw my best friend, she was going to do it with a little extra celebration, courtesy of me. Saturday came too fast. Claire woke up excited, I could tell. She hummed while she got dressed, took extra time doing her hair, even put on that perfume she usually only wore on our anniversary. She turned to me before she left, giving me a fake-ass pout. I feel bad leaving you alone tonight. Oh, do you? I smiled. Go have fun, babe. You deserve it. And with that, she was out the door. Now, it was go time. I waited an hour before heading out, just to be safe. I parked my car a block away from the Fairview Motel, my heart hammering so hard I thought it might give me away. I had already scoped the place out earlier in the day, rented the room next to theirs, thanks to a little bribing of the motel clerk. When I finally saw them pull up, my stomach dropped. Claire practically jumped out of her car, her face glowing. Jake followed behind, grinning like he'd just won the fucking lottery. They didn't even check the surroundings. Didn't even hesitate. Jake touched her lower back as they walked inside. That was it. The moment I stopped feeling anything for her. I clenched my jaw, breathing through my nose. Not yet. I gave them 15 minutes before I slipped into their room. Again, bribing the front desk guy? Best decision of my life. I planted the camera in the air vent, pointing directly at the bed. The voice recorder? Under the nightstand. And then, the final touch. I placed the bottle of champagne on the table with a little note. Enjoy the show. Love, Jack. And then I walked out, because I wasn't just going to catch them. I was going to destroy them. I barely slept that night. I lay in my darkened bedroom, phone in hand, waiting. Every second that ticked by felt like a sledgehammer to my skull. My wife, the woman I built my damn life around, was screwing my best friend at that motel, completely unaware that I was about to end her whole world. The camera was streaming live to my phone. I didn't watch, I didn't need to. The second I saw Claire straddle him, I shut it off. That was enough. What I did do was send a little message. Not to Claire. Not to Jake. To her parents. Me, hey Bob, hey Linda. Just wanted to let you know that your sweet little daughter is at the Fairview Motel right now with my best friend. Getting railed like it's a damn rodeo. Thought you'd like to know. Check your email. I attached a screenshot from the camera feed. And then, Just for fun, I sent the same message to Jake's wife. Then I grabbed my keys and drove straight to the motel. I got there in record time, parked 2 spots over, just far enough to not be seen. My hands were shaking, but not with sadness. With rage. I waited. 5 minutes passed. 10. And then, I saw them burst out the door, half-dressed and panicked as hell. Perfect. Jake was scrambling to pull his pants up, while Claire looked like she had just seen a ghost. Probably because she had. Her father was standing in the parking lot, clutching his phone with an expression of pure horror. Behind him, Jake's wife. And oh boy, she was livid. I stepped out of my car, arms crossed. Evening, folks. Claire's jaw dropped. Jack. Jake froze mid-buckle, looking like he just realized he was in a horror movie. Oh, don't stop on my account, I said, tilting my head. Seemed like you two were having a great time. Linda, Claire's mom, was already crying. Bob looked ready to kill someone. And Jake's wife? She didn't say a damn thing. She just walked up to Jake, who was still fumbling with his belt, and smacked the absolute shit out of him. Crack. It echoed through the parking lot. I knew it, she shrieked. I fucking knew it. You piece of shit. Jake stumbled back, eyes wide. Bye. Slap number 2. I smiled. Claire turned to me, her face pale as hell. Jack, please, I can explain. I held up a hand. Nope. Baby. I laughed. Actually laughed. Baby? Claire, you were literally calling him that, what? An hour ago? Don't insult my intelligence. Jake looked like he wanted to run. I wasn't about to let him. I took a step forward, towering over him. You were my best friend. Jake swallowed hard. Jack? Listen, man. Boom. Sirens. A cop car pulled into the parking lot, lights flashing. Oh shit. The officer got out, hand resting on his holster. We got a report of a disturbance? Jake's wife spun around. Yes. My husband is a cheating, lying bastard. Claire squeaked. This isn't necessary. Oh, it absolutely is. I cut in. Officer, I just caught my wife and my best friend cheating on me in that motel room right there. And I pointed at Claire's dad. So did her parents. Bob nodded aggressively. Damn right we did. The officer sighed, rubbing his temples. All right, look, I get it, emotions are high. But let's keep it civil before someone gets arrested for assault. Too late, because Bob, Claire's 60-year-old father? Just then, he lunged at Jake. You fucked my daughter. In a motel. You piece of. The cop grabbed him just in time. Sir, no. Jake flinched so hard he tripped backward, knocking into a trash can and landing flat on his ass. I almost lost it laughing. Claire, meanwhile, was sobbing. Jack. Please, we can fix this. I turned to her, my voice calm. You see, Claire, that's the thing. I don't want to fix this. Then I tossed something at her. Her wedding ring. Go fuck yourself. And with that, I walked away. I woke up the next morning to pure, unfiltered chaos. My phone? Blowing up. Claire? Blowing up my texts. Claire. Jack, please just talk to me. Claire, I made a mistake. But it didn't mean anything. We can fix this. Claire, you're scaring me. Why aren't you answering? Oh, honey, I'm not answering because I'm busy ruining your life. The best part? That motel stunt? That was just the beginning. See, I had way more cards to play. And first up on the list? Jake's job. Jake worked at a corporate law firm, all high and mighty in his fancy little suits. You know what corporate law firms hate? Scandals. Especially ones that involve a married senior associate sleeping with his best friend's also married wife in a dirty-ass motel room. So what did I do? I emailed the entire firm. Subject: professionalism concerns regarding Jake Matthews. Good morning. I hope this email finds you well. I'm reaching out regarding a highly unprofessional situation involving one of your senior associates, Jake Matthews. I have reason to believe he has been engaging in an extramarital affair with my wife. Proof attached. While I understand that personal matters are separate from business, I believe it's important to consider the ethical implications of his actions. especially given that his extramarital activities have been occurring during business hours. I trust your firm values professionalism and integrity. Please see attached evidence for your review. Regards, Jack Meyer. And attached? Oh, just some tastefully blurred screenshots of him and Claire mid-motel session, plus the reservation log from the front desk. Within 2 hours, Jake's wife texted me. Jake's wife. Holy shit. They fired him. Jake's wife, he's losing his benefits, Jack. His boss literally said, "We can't have someone like you representing us." Jake's wife. I am sobbing. This is the best day of my life. Good. One down. Claire still thought she could fix things. She didn't understand that I was out for blood. So, I did what any rational, emotionally stable man would do. I called her mother. Linda picked up immediately. Jack. Oh my God. We are so sorry. I could hear Bob in the background muttering threats about Jake. I sighed, making my voice sound extra broken for dramatic effect. Linda, I don't know what to do. I thought Claire loved me. Sweetheart, we had no idea, she said. I told Bob last night. I raised her better than this. I let out a heavy sigh, like the weight of the world was on my shoulders. I don't know if I can stay with someone who would betray me like this. I mean, if I knew she could do this, I never would have bought her that new car last month. I wouldn't have helped her pay off her student loans. Silence. Then, wait, you paid off her loans? Bingo. Oh, I said, acting all confused and innocent. She didn't tell you? Linda lost her shit. Jack, we helped her with that. We sent her $15,000 last year for those loans. Wow, I said, as if I was completely shocked. I guess she never mentioned that. Linda went full nuclear mode. That lying little B.O.B. Did you hear this? Our daughter scammed us. Bob shouted something about taking Claire off their will. And just like that, Claire lost her financial backup plan. 2 down. Around noon, I was enjoying a nice whiskey on the rocks, celebrating my well-orchestrated destruction of 2 lives, when I heard a knock. Police. I opened the door to find Officer Friendly staring at me. Jack Meyer. I nodded. That's me. He sighed. We need to talk about what happened last night. I blinked. What? Your wife, Claire? She reported you for harassment and emotional abuse. Oh, she wants to play dirty? I laughed. Right in his face. Officer, are you aware that my wife was caught cheating on me last night? His expression barely changed. We heard. Doesn't change the fact that she's claiming you're making threats. I crossed my arms. That's interesting. Because I have texts from her this morning, saying she loves me and wants to work things out. I pulled up my phone, showing Claire's desperate texts. The cop sighed. Well, that's inconsistent. No shit, I said. He flipped through his notepad. All right, you're not under arrest or anything, but we recommend you avoid contacting her for now. I smirked. Oh, trust me. I have no intention of ever speaking to her again. He left, and I poured another drink, because Claire had just played her last card. And now, I was going all in. If you thought Claire and Jake were just going to accept defeat and disappear, you'd be dead wrong. Because just when I thought I had won, Claire decided to go full psycho mode. And she didn't come at me alone. She got a lawyer. So, I'm sitting at home, enjoying a nice bottle of expensive whiskey, bought with the money Claire wasn't getting from me. When I hear a knock on the door, I open it, and boom, some stiff in a suit hands me an envelope. You've been served. Whoa, what now? I rip open the envelope, expecting something stupid. And oh boy, Claire did not disappoint. Plaintiff, Claire Meyer. Defendant, Jack Meyer. Claim, defamation, emotional distress, financial damages. She was suing me, for ruining her life. I fucking died laughing. Like, tears in my eyes, stomach hurting, full-on wheezing. See, Claire thought she could play victim, like I was some evil mastermind who orchestrated her downfall. Which, I mean, yeah, I did. But that's beside the point. She wanted to drag me to court? Oh, sweetheart. You just made the biggest mistake of your life. Because I had a lawyer too. And unlike Claire's cheap, Craigslist-ass attorney, mine was a fucking shark. So I filed a counter lawsuit. For what, you ask? Fraud. For the student loan scam she pulled on me and her parents. Theft. For spending thousands of dollars from our joint account to fund her affair. Breach of marital contract. Which basically meant she wasn't getting a single dime in the divorce. And just to spice things up, I had my lawyer send a formal complaint to the state bar about her attorney's shady practices. Because if you're gonna play dirty, at least do it right. So, about a week later, I'm grabbing groceries, feeling on top of the fucking world, when my phone rings. Unknown number. I answer. Is this Jack Meyer? Yeah. Who's asking? This is Detective Harris with the Metro PD. We need you to come down to the station. Excuse me? For what? We have a report filed against you for harassment and threats. Oh, for fuck's sake. Now, I knew exactly what was happening. Claire was trying to flip the script. Make it look like I was the villain, hoping I'd panic, back down, and settle the lawsuit on her terms. So, I walked into that police station cool as hell, wearing my best, I don't give a fuck expression. They sat me down in a tiny, depressing-ass room, and in walks Detective Harris, holding a file. Your wife is claiming you've been stalking, harassing, and emotionally abusing her. I almost laughed out loud. Instead, I leaned forward, resting my elbows on the table. Detective? I said, do you know what's really funny? He raised an eyebrow. I pulled out my phone, scrolled to my blocked messages, and turned the screen around. A full, unhinged list of Claire's desperate-ass texts. Jack, please, I love you. I'm sorry. I messed up. Can we talk? I don't know how to live without you. I'll do anything, please just answer. I let Detective Harris read them, watched as his expression shifted from suspicion to complete exhaustion. Jesus Christ, he muttered. Oh, we're just getting started, I said, scrolling down to a voice recording I had saved. I pressed play. Claire's voice, crystal fucking clear. I'll ruin you if you don't take me back. Detective Harris leaned back, rubbing his temples. Jack, he sighed. I think we're done here. I smirked. Thought so. Case closed. At this point, Claire had one last thing left, her shitty little apartment. And I was about to take that too. See, I remembered something funny as hell. She had put the lease under my name, since her credit was garbage. Which meant, I called up the landlord. Hey, this is Jack Meyer. I'd like to terminate my lease immediately. The landlord? More than happy to kick her out. So Claire? Evicted. And Jake? Oh, Jake. His car. Also in his wife's name. And guess what? She took it back. So now, Claire and Jake were both jobless, broke, homeless, and completely fucked. Karma is a beautiful thing. But here's where it gets even better. Claire's parents? Still pissed. So what did they do? They went on Facebook and blasted her. Claire's own mother wrote a status saying, "We are ashamed of our daughter. After everything we did for her, she betrayed her husband and threw away her life. Actions have consequences." Her mom posted this publicly, and the comments? Oh my fucking God. Her entire extended family dragged her to hell. Aunt Karen, wow, I can't believe she'd do this to Jack. He was so good to her. Uncle Mike, shameful, absolutely disgraceful. Cousin Rachel, I hope she enjoys being homeless. She deserves it. By the time I checked, Claire had deleted all her social media. Jake too. Because once the internet knows your dirty laundry, you're done. At this point, Claire and Jake were at rock bottom. Or so I thought. Because right when I was ready to sit back and enjoy their suffering, something insane happened. My best friend's little sister, who had always been like a sister to me, sent me a link. Anna, Jack, holy shit. You need to see this. Anna, check Facebook. I clicked the link, and my jaw dropped. Some random person had filmed Claire and Jake's parking lot screaming match. You know, the one where she was beating his ass and spitting on him? Well, it had been posted online, and the internet had done its thing. The video? 700,000 views. The comments? Brutal. Imagine ruining your whole life for a guy who lives in his CR. Cheated on her husband for this dude? Sis, the devil scammed you. The way she says, I should have stayed with Jack is sending me. She knows she lost. Damn, Jack. Wherever you are, I hope you're drinking expensive whiskey and laughing your ass off. I was absolutely drinking expensive whiskey and laughing my ass off. But the best part? Claire and Jake had no idea they were famous yet. So I waited. And then, Claire called. I picked up, put her on speaker, and motioned for my buddy Ron to start recording. Jack, you son of a bitch, she screamed. What did you do? I sipped my drink. I'm gonna need more details, sweetheart. Don't sweetheart me. Why the fuck is there a video of me online? Oh, now she knew. I grinned. Wait, you're telling me that after cheating on me, getting disowned, and losing everything you still found time to go viral? Damn, Claire. You really are talented. You bastard, she screeched. Take it down. I laughed. Hard. Claire, I didn't post it. The world just really loves watching terrible people destroy their own lives. Her breathing was ragged. You're going to regret this. I took another sip. Oh, babe. I've been enjoying every second. And then, I hung up and sent her meltdown recording to the guy who posted the video. Because if Claire was going to scream like a banshee, the world might as well enjoy the encore. After the video hit 1 million views, Claire and Jake officially became meme material. People started remixing the audio into songs. Some dude made a remix of Claire screaming, I should have stayed with Jack. And it actually charted on TikTok. Podcast invited me to tell my side of the story. I declined, but damn was I tempted. Even my boss sent me the video and said, you should take a day off to celebrate, man. But then, Claire made her next big mistake. She and Jake came up with a new plan. And this time, they were going after my money. So one morning I check my bank app, and something feels off. A few $1,000s missing. And I know for a fact I didn't spend it. My heart starts racing. I check the transaction history, and my stomach drops. The withdrawal was linked to Claire. Now, she wasn't on my account anymore. I made sure of that. But I'd forgotten about one little thing. The emergency backup account. The one we set up years ago in case we needed quick cash. I never closed it. And Claire? Fucking found it. I called the bank immediately. Yeah. I need to report unauthorized transactions. The rep types for a few seconds. Sir, we see that the transactions were made with your ex-wife's credentials. Did she have permission? I clenched my teeth. She did not. And then I asked the golden question. Where did she transfer the money? The rep paused. Then she said, to an account under Jake Matthews. I burst out laughing. Now, I could have just let the bank reverse the charges. But that would have been too easy. Instead, I filed a police report. And guess what? Taking money from someone without permission, after you've already been removed from an account, that's fraud, baby. And fraud gets you arrested. So, 2 days later, I get a text from a buddy who works at the station. Ron, dude, you are gonna love this. Ron. Claire and Jake just got picked up for fraud. I sprinted to my car. And I pulled up to the police station just in time to watch them get shoved into the back of a squad car. Jake looked like a broken man. Claire? Sobbing, screaming, wailing like a goddamn banshee. I rolled down my window. Hey, Claire. I called out. She turned. Mascara running. Absolutely losing it. I grinned. I should have stayed with Jack. And then I drove away, blasting the TikTok remix of her meltdown. Because karma is a bitch. And so was she. At this point, Claire and Jake had nothing left. They were broke. They were homeless. They were internet famous for being absolute dumbass. And now, they were facing actual fraud charges. But me, I was just getting started on my victory lap. Because there was one last thing I needed to do. And trust me, this was going to be the most satisfying part of all. A few weeks after the fraud arrests, I get a message from an unknown number. Unknown Jack, please. I need your help. I stare at the screen, smirking. Oh, this is too good. I don't respond. Then, another message. Unknown. I know I don't deserve it. But I have no one else to turn to. Please, just hear me out. I already know who it is. But just for fun, I type back. Me? Who is this? A pause. Then, Claire. Bingo. I decide to take the call. Not because I care, but because I want to hear her beg. I answer. Claire. She sniffles. Full pathetic mode activated. Jack. I don't know what to do. Oh. I sip my whiskey. What happened? She lets out a shaky breath. I lost everything. I have no money, no place to stay, and Jake, he left. I nearly spit out my drink. Wait. Jake left. She starts crying. Yes, she sobs. He said it was all my fault and that he never loved me. I put a hand over my mouth to stop from laughing. This fucking idiot ruined her entire life for Jake. And now, he had abandoned her. Cleared my throat. Damn, that's rough. Jack, she whimpered. I need your help. I pause, then say, what kind of help? I need a place to stay, just for a little while, until I get back on my feet. I stare at the wall, and then, I burst out laughing, like, actual, full-body, uncontrollable laughter. Claire, I say between breaths, you really just asked me. The guy you cheated on and destroyed, for a place to stay? She sniffles. I have no one, Jack. Please. I lean forward, grinning. Oh, sweetheart. You should have stayed with Jack. Click. I hang up, and I block her number. For the last time, I'd like to tell you Claire somehow turned her life around. That she found redemption. That she realized the error of her ways and became a better person. But no. Claire ended up living in a women's shelter after burning every bridge she had. Jake? Vanished. Last I heard, he moved to another state working some shitty retail job. Still broke, still humiliated. Jake's ex-wife? Married a doctor. Living her best life. Never looked back. And me? Well, let's just say I've never been happier. New job. New house.
No toxic bullshit.
And every now and then, I see someone share Claire's viral meltdown video. And every time, I pour myself a drink, lean back, and smile. Because in the end, I won. And Claire lost. Forever. Final score. 1 me, successful, happy, and living my best life. 2. Claire, homeless, broke, abandoned, and forgotten. 3. Jake, disgraced, broke, jobless, and irrelevant. 4. Jake's ex-wife, remarried, rich, thriving. 5. The internet, still laughing at Claire's downfall. And that, my friends, is how you destroy 2 cheaters in the most legendary way possible. Game over. Final. Fucking. Victory. Smiling face with horns fire.